Hey there, and welcome to the third installment of Wildin Out with Wild Dog. So today we're going to take a look at issue number 3 of the Wild Dog miniseries that DC did back in the 80s. Now, if you are playing along at home, or if you want to, like, these aren't in print anymore, but they're usually pretty cheap if you find them, at your local comic shop. I would bet there's some of these sitting in dollar boxes and things like that. Or it's also available digitally on the DC Universe Infinite app. So if you want to read them on there, you can. And so this is, written by Max Allan Collins and drawn by Terry Beattie and Dick Giordano. And so yeah, this one says, "This is Wildcat" at the top here. And so now, looking into the third chapter here, this is Rolling on the River. And we're starting off on this riverboat here, and we find out that Graham, the not CIA agent, has gathered together our other suspects here of Andy Flint, Lou Goddard, and Jack the Mechanic. And so we find out over this meeting that he also suspects the three of them of being Wild Dog. So right now, these are our 4 suspects to who Wild Dog could be. And it looks like Graham has got the same idea that the reporter has in the previous issues. So here we see Graham's brought gifts for everybody, and they open them up, and it is parts of a Wild Dog uniform. So I don't think this is the actual outfit that Wild Dog wears, but, again, these are all things that are easy enough for them to kind of acquire. And so we find out, too, here that they all played on the same football team together in school, and that this red dog here is from State U, so this was their mascot. So, again, more reason for any of these guys to be, Wild Dog here. So, yeah, so they're kind of talking about who Wild Dog could be. It kind of recaps the action from the last few issues that we've already seen. But he starts to get... Graham starts to get more specific about why he thinks it could be these guys, and why the Committee for Social Change, which is the terrorist organization, is sort of targeting their area. And Graham brings up that there is an arsenal nearby on an island, and that they were probably trying to go for those weapons. So here, Graham brings up that Lou lost his wife to a terrorist attack, which is, his motivation for why he would be doing this. And so basically for Flint's motivation, he says, he's a tough anti-crime, but Jack served in the military and had comrades who were, blown up by terrorists. So we keep seeing this woman here in the background, and she will, come in later here. So here we're kind of showing the island, and they're kind of going there and saying, there aren't as many soldiers guarding the area as you think there would be, so it's sort of like a prime target for the terrorist group in the book. And they're going in, and they find there's going to be like a weapons demonstration later on that they're here for. And here Graham confronts this woman who's kind of been in the background here since the beginning of the book, and it's Susan King, the reporter from the previous issues, who's also kind of trying to figure out who Wild Dog is. So he confronts her here at the arsenal. Got some old 80s ads here. So here we've got the weapons demonstration, and it's like a super bazooka sort of weapon that they're all kind of checking out. And we see these tourists kind of landing on the island here as the demonstration's going on. And it turns out the tourists are the terrorist organization here, who are attacking. And so now we have Galt and Flint here kind of taking cover here. And, saying that, they don't have guns or anything right now. And then we cut back to the boat where the terrorists have kind of taken over. And here we see the Wild Dog uniform that Galt brought. And, we cut back to it and it's gone. So someone's grabbed it here. And now we have Wild Dog appearing, attacking the terrorists. So right now we're not sure who Wild Dog is. But, we're pretty sure it's going to be one of these 4 now, due to, what's going on here. And again, Wild Dog wasn't prepared. He doesn't have any weapons, so he's kind of breaking into the armory here and grabbing weapons to fight the terrorists with. And then he takes a bazooka, this, new weapon, and blows up the riverboat while abandoning his costume here. And so then that's the issue here. And it looks like, next issue is number 4, so that's the last issue in the series. And so, presumably we're going to find out who Wild Dog is here. So just kind of my guesses here from going through this. I feel like we saw Galt and Flint together here during the attack, kind of taking cover, while they're trying to figure out what to do. So I'm going to assume it's not either one of them. Because, one of them would have seen the other one run off. And because Galt is accusing them, I think that takes care of my previous theory that that this is like a team effort, that they're all kind of being Wild Dog here. I don't think that's the case now, or Galt wouldn't have accused them on the boat like that. My guess for who Wild Dog would be here would be Lou Goddard here, because he's the journalist that they said his wife died in a terrorist attack. That's just too much of a comic book, sort of origin for a superhero. So he's my guess. Jack is a mechanic, and, we've seen Wild Dog in the truck. This truck might be souped up and that kind of thing. But I feel like Goddard maybe has the more sort of classic comic book motivation here for doing this. So that's going to be my guess, is that he will turn out to be Wild Dog in the next issue here. So yeah, if you've been watching along, or if, you have a guess as to who Wild Dog is, let me know in the comments below. So we'll come back next time for the 4th and final issue of the Wild Dog miniseries, and hopefully we'll find out who Wild Dog is. And thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter/X @Detective651, also on Instagram @Detective651. Be sure to check out my t-shirt store at tpublic.com/user/Detective651. I've got a lot of nerdy designs on there, and there's sales all the time, so check it out frequently.